Welcome to Harmonized. I am your host, Gigi Naval, integrative and functional registered dietitian nutritionist, here to help you harmonize your gut and hormone health for improved metabolic health. We are in our last episode of my gut health mini series. Okay, I've been talking about eubiosis, and that is a balanced gut community. And then I've talked about gut dysbiosis, which is the opposite of eubiosis, and that means imbalance of the microorganisms in our gut community. And then I talked about the repercussions that can happen if we allow our gut community to stay out of balance. So if you want to go back to the previous episodes, if you haven't listened to those, I invite you to, so that this particular episode will make more sense. Okay, so here's the thing. God created our gut to have an ecosystem, this amazing community of microorganisms. And when it does get out of balance because of life, of everything that we are bombarded with, toxins, what have you, well, it can cause inflammation and lead to all of these issues. So how do we get out of it? Well, the first thing that we need to do is to let our body know that we are safe. If we are in a constant state of unmanaged stress and we are always on the go and we are just having all sorts of factors coming into our lives that lead to stress, whether it be meeting a deadline at work, studying for a test, undereating, having relationship issues. The body is trying to then protect us by keeping us in survival mode, and it is just trying to get us to safety. And so one of the ways to let our body know we are safe is that we need to be less Martha and more Mary. And so what I mean by that is that we need to be less busy. We pile so many things in our lives, and we are always constantly running here and there and here and back. And our body is thinking, wow, you're constantly on the go. And that leads to dysregulation of our autonomic nervous system. It feels like it is constantly in fight and flight, that sympathetic state. And that state has more cortisol. And so if cortisol levels stay higher, it affects the lining of the gut community. It becomes permeable. And then things happen that we don't want. Okay, so it is good to play a part in our community. But if we are overly volunteering or signing up to do way too much, then we need to evaluate that and see, is this a season in my life where I need to cut back, and then later on I can add that back? Are we going to too many social events instead of just being able to enjoy the safety and the beauty of being at home, being with your family at home? Okay, so let your body know that it is safe and you are bringing down the dysregulation and helping your autonomic nervous system get regulated by being less Martha and being more Mary, sitting at the feet of Jesus even more. Okay, what else can we do? Well, we definitely can take the time to chew our food well, to take our time to chew our food until it feels like, wow, it has melted, it is gone. When you are doing that, you are signaling to your stomach to actually produce stomach acid. And when that happens, you are able to kill off bacteria that is coming in through the food that we eat, through the beverages we consume. And so it will help kill off some of those bacteria that we don't want. There is beneficial bacteria, but we have opportunistic bacteria. They're not necessarily harmful in moderate amounts, but if in excess, the harm that it could give people is the gas, the bloating, constipation, diarrhea. And if that stays elevated, then it can lead to medical conditions. So chew your food really well. Take the time. And another thing to do is to consume up to 30 different plant-based food items per week. And it is best to choose as much as possible organic. It does not mean that organic produce and other food items does not have any pesticides. It will still have some pesticides, but this type of pesticide, you can wash it off and it doesn't stay on as long. And so it is a much better choice. And then also other food items like soy and corn, you really want to stay away from anything that is GMO, okay? Because the modification that is done in these products, in these plant-based products, is that it can actually allow the pesticide to be inside the product, or if it is genetically modified and it doesn't allow for that pesticide to be in there, it makes it so that it is resistant to herbicides and to glyphosate, and so it doesn't harm the plant. The plant doesn't get harmed, but then it allows farmers to spray more herbicides, to spray more glyphosate, and it doesn't harm the plant itself, but it can affect us. It can affect our gut community. It can affect us because these are endocrine disruptors, and that can lead to having potentially hormonal imbalances. So whenever you can, always look for organic as much as possible. Okay, so what did I talk about so far? What are the ways that you can start implementing to potentially start rebalancing your gut community? Well, that would include telling your autonomic nervous system, let's slow down. Let's regulate it. Let's go ahead and not be always on the go. And then the second thing that we can do is to chew our food until it feels like it has melted, because then you are signaling to your stomach to produce enough stomach acid that food is coming down. This bolus is coming down. Okay, and then the third thing is to consume at least 30 plant-based food items per week, but then it is best to get it organic as much as possible. I know it's not always possible for all of us to get everything organic, but we must be careful with GMO products, okay? Because those, even though they are helpful, it can help us, it can help the farmers produce more crop. At the same time, it will allow them to actually spray more glyphosate, herbicides, and other chemicals so that it can protect the crop, but then we are not protected. Okay, if you start doing these things, and yes, you've gotten some improvement in your gut health, but you would like further personalized help, I am here for you. Please reach out to me. I have a website. You can actually fill a form there, and that form will provide me with information so that I can give you a free video recorded initial assessment. Okay. All right. Now, before I end, I just want to share with you a couple Bible verses that I shared with my nutrition and dietetic students this week. It is found in 1 Corinthians 3, 16 and 17. Do you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? If anyone defiles the temple of God, God will destroy him. For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. So our bodies are the temple of God. It is holy. We must take care of it to the best of our abilities. Okay, friend, in all that we do, in all that we eat and drink, let us do it all for the glory of God. Friend, I'll be back after Thanksgiving in a couple weeks. In the meantime, have a blessed Thanksgiving with your family and friends.